Welcome back to the Grow Like a Mother podcast. I'm your host, Jill, time management strategist, author, award-winning speaker, and advocate for all things growth in motherhood. Just a quick reminder that if you are listening to this episode, you can actually catch it on YouTube as well and see this conversation that I'm having with Sandy Zimmerman in action. So today I am so happy to welcome a real American Ninja Warrior, Sandy Zimmerman. For those of you who are familiar with the sport and love it as much as I do, she's the first mom who conquered the warped wall, which is a huge freaking deal. And so I invited her on today. I want to share her story with you. And also, we're going to chat just about how we pursue our dreams as moms and push past expectations of ourselves and what other people put on us as expectations. So welcome to the show, Sandy.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to see where this conversation takes us today.
Yeah, I want to know from a curiosity fangirl perspective, but also I'm sure all the listeners are going to want to know, how did you get into ninja in the first place?
It was one of those things I think in life where it is just meant to be. We never channel surf in our house. And my oldest son, Brett, just happened to be flipping through channels. And lo and behold, American Ninja Warrior comes up. And I'm over in the kitchen getting dinner ready. And I just hear my oldest son, Brett, go, "What's that?" And I look over at the screen and it's American Ninja Warrior. And I have never seen the show at that point. I did have previously a couple of people just ask me random, like, "Have you ever seen the show called American Ninja Warrior? I feel like you would be really good on that." And I just kind of blew it off. It seemed like, something I would never be interested in. And when I saw it on the screen, I was absolutely mesmerized by it. I was mesmerized by the strength of the athletes, by the obstacles, by their stories. And I was just so drawn into it. And I couldn't shake this feeling of like, Sandy, that's what you're supposed to do. And that's where you're supposed to be. But I tried to fight it. I tried to fight it for several days, thinking, that's crazy. That's insane. Why? I think at that time I was 38 or 39. Why would I feel so drawn and called to do this crazy thing called American Ninja Warrior at this point? And so I fought it and I fought it and I just couldn't shake that feeling. And so I went and I looked into what was it entailed to apply for the show. And I found out first, there's a pretty lengthy application process. And then second, you had to do a 2 to 3 minute video. And then the other thing I found out was at this point, the show had been on for almost 10 years, and there had never been a mom to be able to finish the course and hit the buzzer. And honestly, in that amount of time, there'd only been about 10 women ever even finish a course in the 12 years the show had been on, and most of them were in their 20s. But I just, when you get that gut instinct, God, the universe, whatever that is to people calling you just can't, I've learned that you just can't fight it. You just absolutely have to jump in. And it's not a like put your toes in the pool type of thing. It's a like jump all in. And it's going to be a crazy ride. And it has been, and it's also been incredible. And honestly, I mean, the buzzers are amazing and incredible and really fun. But what's been so amazing about jumping into this crazy big dream is the person who I've become through the journey. And I think so many times people lose sight of that really is what it's about. And I've loved the buzzers, don't get me wrong, it is really fun. But I look back on the Sandy that I was before I started this journey. So it's been almost 10 years now. And the Sandy I am today, and I have evolved and grown and changed so much that I literally, if I saw someone that I hadn't seen in a while, I feel like I would have to reintroduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love that I have grown like that. I'm really proud of that. And I honestly, till the day I die, I want to keep growing. I feel like it's not like hey, we get to a certain point in life and we're done. I just want to keep at that, keep challenging myself, keep growing, be that example for my kids. It's one thing to tell your kids, hey, chase big dreams, like go for it. You got it. But it's a whole nother thing to actually have them see it. They say things are more caught than taught. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. So that is what I'm trying to do and live my life in a way that my kids can catch it. What does it look like to chase a big dream? What does it look like to fall down and pick yourself back up and keep chasing if that's where you feel like you're supposed to be? So it's been an incredible journey, ups and downs, messy, but wonderful.
That's amazing. And I love how you describe this, like, don't just dip your toe in, you sort of cannonballed into it. And it's so true. I resonate so much with the way that you're describing the community of ninja, like the stories that are told. That's what hooks me too.
Mhm.
And to be able to not only like have your story told through this, but grow in your own story as you're going through this journey is so cool. I feel the exact same. Growth is basically the whole point. In my view, that's why the podcast is called Grow Like a Mother. We're all about growth. And I really love how you nailed it on the head when you're saying our kids are watching, like our kids are learning. And so why wouldn't we go for our dreams, right? Like, yes, it's hard. I'm 38 now, so I'm imagining myself trying something new for the first time and it feels scary. Like, did you have that sort of inner dialogue or maybe somebody from the outside saying like, maybe you shouldn't start something new, you've got your life, you're a mom, you get blah blah blah. Think about this a bit. Did you experience that?
All of the above, all of the above. You know, first I fought my own inner dialogue, right? I always feel like I have this really strong, confident side of me, and then I have this really timid, insecure, fearful side of me. And those two battle it out. And I think it's probably a battle that I will have for the rest of my life. But just like anything else, you can grow a skill. You can grow having positive self-talk. You can grow listening to the right voice. And so I have grown that. Is it something that I will always have to work on the rest of my life? I think so. But I am getting better at listening to the right voice. But when this first came up, this was new for me. I think I played it really safe most of the time. I knew that I was really, I'm just strong and athletic. I've stayed in good shape. And so I was really successful athletically. But this is the ultimate unknown outcome. This is the ultimate fail in front of everybody. But the incredible thing about jumping into that is now you get to challenge all of those thoughts. And that's exactly what it did. I'm sitting there thinking, gosh, Sandy, this is crazy. Why would you do this? You're not strong enough. You're not ready. You're too old. And then the confident side of me would chime in and go, wait a second here. Okay. This is where you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And you are strong and you are brave and you are courageous. Take that first step because that's how you learn and grow. And so I fought those two. And luckily, eventually, the stronger, confident side of me won. But here's the thing that I really want women to hear is when you have a new dream, I always think that our new dreams, when we're still kind of sitting on a fence going, should I chase it? Should I not? Is this crazy? Could I fail? Could I succeed? And you're on this fence. Okay, our dreams are so delicate at that point. And I just imagine it's this really fragile dream when you're in this state. And who you take that dream to matters. And this is where your girlfriends come in. And I'll tell you what, everybody should have a Teresa in their life. When I had that dream and I was on the fence going, should I do it? Should I not? I don't know, doubting myself, trying to listen to the right voice, but struggling. I called my buddy up, Teresa, and I said, Teresa, I'm thinking about doing this crazy thing. I'm thinking about applying for American Ninja Warrior. And I think at that point, if Teresa had said, Sandy, that's crazy, I think the dream would have died right there. But instead, when I came to her and said, Teresa, I'm thinking about doing this crazy thing. And she said, I love it. How can I help you? Let's do it together. And I just think that for me was such a huge turning point and a catalyst to having this fire that could have easily been blown out, to having someone stoke the fire, tend to it, and help me keep that fire burning and keep that fire growing. And I just think we all need a Teresa in our lives, or be a Teresa for somebody else. When they come to you with their dream, with their goal, be a Teresa. But I think that was such a pivotal moment. And I think, oh my gosh, had she squashed that dream with a little bit of doubt or wonder, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be where I am today. And I just think that is so powerful. And I think of that a lot of when we have those little dreams, be careful who you take it to. But man, if you take it to the right person, it's going to fan the flames. And how we can be that for others. So moms unite.
Mm-hmm.
Let's unite. You see another mom out there chasing a big dream, fan the flames. Or if you're the one on the other end of that coming to someone, go to the Teresa in your life that is going to breathe life into you and surround yourself with people like that. And I think that to me is everything.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I want my Teresa. And it makes me just also think how you are Teresa to all of the women coming up behind you in Ninja, all
Mm.
the young girls who are following their dreams and seeing you do it and saying, "Hey, mom, she can do it. Let's go to the gym. Can you take me here?" Like, and the mom seeing it and like, it's just this beautiful ripple effect of you
Mm.
following your dream and inspiring. And you're not just inspiring on the course anymore. You are professional speaking. You had a TED Talk. Like, tell me about that and how your life has sort of also grown into this motivational speaker type of role and this role that you play for girls and kids everywhere.
The thing that I absolutely love about anytime someone's chasing a big dream, right? The lessons that you learn trickle over into every aspect of your life. So here I said yes to this crazy dream of American Ninja Warrior. And all those lessons that I was learning in taking chances, in handling failure, and how you define success. I mean, that was a huge one I had to redefine in Ninja Warrior. I mean, we the the odds of, I mean, in the show's been on, oh gosh, now almost 16 years, and we've only had a couple people even finish the whole thing. So failure is inevitable. So dealing with that. But what's so incredible about putting yourself out there, about challenging yourself, doing hard things, is that all those lessons that you learn in that trickle over into every aspect of your life. And so here I'm challenging myself on the course. I'm learning to navigate those voices in my head. You know, unknown outcome is the perfect way to learn to navigate those, becoming more aware of them. Am I going to listen to the strong, confident, or am I going to listen to the scared, timid? And so it really hones those skills in. And then what's incredible, it affects everything. And so here I was in my career, and it parallels so much of Ninja is now I had taught for 23 years and coached, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It would have been a lot easier had I not loved it at the end. And then I felt this calling of like, Sandy, you impacted a lot of lives teaching for 23 years. But now I want you to impact even more lives. I want you to shift gears and I want you to become a speaker. And I want you to share your stories because they're going to change lives. And I thought, that's crazy. So it went through the whole same thing again. That is insane. I'm doing something I love. I'm good at it. I'm impacting lives. And again, I fought it, but I couldn't shake it. And I tried to balance both. And that was where I knew without a doubt that I could not teach and speak and do both well and still have something left in the tank for my family. And so I had to make a really hard decision. And I thought, I know I am the go all in type of person, and I cannot dibble dabble in both right now and then still have some balance in my personal life. And so I made this huge leap of faith, this huge unknown outcome. And I don't think I could have done that had I not just done it with American Ninja Warrior.
Mm.
And so it's amazing to me how that can trickle over to everything. So I thought, if that's what I'm supposed to do and that's where I'm supposed to be, then I'm going to jump all in. And so I left teaching and the comforts of, a steady paycheck every month, knowing, the day it was coming in, and insurance and retirement and all of those things. And I thought, I cannot live with regret and wonder. Like, I just knew it in my gut that I was supposed to do that. And so I made that leap of faith, and I've been speaking now for about 2 years, and it's been amazing. But it's also like Ninja Warrior, it's had ups and downs.
Yeah, I know that
It
one.
is the world of entrepreneurship. And anyone that has done that, you got to be tough. And I think it is so amazing to me how it parallels my A&W journey. And here I am, 2 years into it. I have been on some unbelievable stages, though. I mean, sometimes I have to pinch myself. I'm also starting to open some for some really big, huge speakers. And I think someday I will be the big speaker on the stage and not opening for them. I have a book coming out here in a couple of weeks, and it's just been an unbelievable journey. And I just can't tell you, the thought of living with regret and wonder far outweighs the challenges and those things that come with chasing a big dream. So here I am. I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be now in my career, doing right what I'm supposed to be doing. And there's good days and bad days, but I'm embracing all of it, just like it's been on American Ninja Warrior.
I love that. And congratulations on the book. We're definitely going to have to include the link for that in the show notes. That's
Yes.
so exciting. And I want to make sure the listeners all heard when you spoke about that self-awareness of knowing your limits with the
Mhm.
teaching and the speaking and the family, right? And understanding about yourself that you are an all-in type of person. I have a quiz and we would call that the high performer on my Supermom
Mm.
quiz. And so like understanding that you had to make that choice so that you still had something in the tank for the family. And how has that been balancing your own dreams and running the family? Like, how have you found that balance, or are you still looking for the balance?
I would say that that balance is always probably a work in progress when
Yeah.
you're doing this. And, I find creative ways to kind of, what would you say, kind of double dip in different things. So for example, my kids all happen to love basketball, and that was my sport. That's what I played in college, and I love it too. And so we have this thing in common where I've always feel like it's kind of double dipping. Like I'll go and I'll be coaching their team, but we're together and we're getting to enjoy this sport. And oftentimes our conversations around the table are related to basketball and things like that. So there's creative ways to kind of double dip, I think, sometimes. Or like I'll go and do an open gym and they'll come play or whatever, or we'll shoot around. So finding some things that you have in common definitely helps with that. But I do think sometimes, it's a cliche, but I think you hear it a lot. You can't pour from an empty cup. And I think as a mother that is so true, that we we have to do the things that also fill us up. And so there are some things that I will say that are non-negotiables for me. And like one of them is I love getting out in nature. It fills me up. I love being in the quiet and the stillness of the mountains. I'll take the dogs and we'll run up in the mountains. But there's just something for me that is it just fills my soul. I can't even explain it. If people love the mountains, they get it.
Yeah.
But then I feel like I can come back now and I have filled my cup and now I can give to my family. And so that's something that I guard. I just guard it like a precious pot of gold, that this is my chunk of the day that's for me. And so if people call and they want to do a meeting or they have to or they want to do a podcast, I like literally this is on my schedule. I write it in my planner. It is not negotiable at this time of day. So I guard it. And I think that's an important part that's helped bring me some of that balance of what is that for you? It could be something different for everybody, but what is it that kind of fills you? And don't have it just be something that, oh, it happened to work out that I got to do it today. No, I put it in my appointment like it's a dentist appointment. Like it is on there. I don't have to tell people what it is. I don't have to explain myself. It's just if someone asks during that hour, I'm like, sorry, not available from this time to this time. That's just not, we can do it before, we can do it after, we can do it the next day, next week. But that time I really guard. And I think that has really helped me get some balance with my family life, with chasing my own big dreams and goals. But I won't lie, I think as a mom, and I mean, I even fought it yesterday. I think there are times that this little mother guilt thing is real. It is true. And we have to like really be aware of it and then have that conversation. Like, is this really something that I should feel guilty about or bad about? Or is this just kind of this insane mother guilt that we sometimes bring on ourselves? And so I think that awareness of being able to differentiate because we do want to support our kids in their big dreams and goals, but that doesn't mean it needs to be at the expense of our dreams and goals. And I think they can all exist together.
I love that. What a beautiful way to wrap. I think that sums it up so beautifully. And I am a mountain girl too. I 100% understand. I lived in the Rockies for several years and I miss it.
Oh,
So please say hello to those mountains for me next time you are out and about. And Sandy, thank you so much for your time today and for your words. It's been such a gift being able to chat with you. And if you are listening and you made it to the end, we'd love for you to tag us, or send us a note on Instagram or whatever platform. Let us know what part of this episode resonated with you. And I think that that's almost my favorite part, is hearing like what touched the listeners, right? So go find Sandy, go find me. All of the links will be in the show notes. Yeah. So thank you so, so much.
absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on.